Welcome to Inside Argos. I'm Mark Vanderwill. I actually have a new co-host here today I'd like to introduce, Leslie Williams. Yeah. Leslie started with the town in January, so she's going to help us out here today. Joe was busy, and we get that. Not everybody could be sitting at home when they're retired. They got to do something. Coming today, we're just going to try to hit on some events. Our main segment at the end, we're actually going to try to talk some about severe weather, mainly some power outages in that. We had some issues, obviously, with some outages this last week, so we just want to go over a few things. This is your first time on here, though.
It is my first time on here, but I'm very familiar.
Okay, and if you haven't met Leslie, she is in the office, so if you come in, you would see her. Yes. And Lori and Candy and Lisa.
Yes, yeah.
So, moving forward, I guess the first thing we'd like to talk about today, we got a few things. Leaf pickup, we'll start here in a few weeks. We do that in the spring. We'll do that for just a couple of weeks to get those last leftover fall leaves out of the way. So that was one thing I had on my list. They made me a list so I don't forget, and I appreciate that. So the other thing I know that's come out this week, they talked about in the council meeting, the cemetery. Yes. They'll be mowing there probably within the next few weeks also. They gave the reminder that anything not on the foundation is not supposed to be there and should be removed because the mowers have the ability to hit those type of things. So that's why they're not allowed in there. So if you have something that is not on your foundation, you are supposed to have it removed. That is the rules of the cemetery. So passing that information along. Not that they're going to come out and take everything, but if something is missing, that's probably what has happened. Other than that, we got some events coming up.
We do, yeah.
We have some
events. I can't wait, especially those with kids. This is a good one for you, so you better listen up.
We do. We got the Easter Bunny. Is Easter Bunny tall or short?
Hopefully short.
Okay, well, we'll see, because he's going to be at Community Park. So on the 19th, so Saturday the 19th, we're going to have our annual Easter and Argos event. So they're going to start off with a breakfast at the school. The firemen.
Yeah.
It's probably be smoking.
Hopefully.
So they're going to be there, I believe, from 7 to 10. And then at 10:15 at the community park.
Community park.
And we keep reiterating that. I keep doing that every time I talk.
Yes.
Community park, because they have moved that.
Yes.
So at 10:15 at Community Park on the 19th.
Yes.
That'll be that's a nice event. They'll be there. It lasts about an hour. So a good event for kids, but they've already started packing eggs. So they said 4,000 or 5,000 of them, which there probably are quite a few. Yeah. So one other thing I do want to hit on that same time frame. I know it's not a town event, but we try to be good about all events going on. So we love to support our school. On the 18th, the FFA will have their annual fish and chicken fry. It's a dine-in and carry-out. It'll be at the school in the cafeteria, or around back will be your pickup for carry-out. They are selling tickets now. If you can get a hold of an FFA member, call the school, Lynette Markley, to try to get those. If not, you can buy them at the event, just so you know. But that'll be on Friday the 18th, which will be here before we know it.
Flyer on Facebook, flyer online for it. So.
Yep, all this information on Facebook and online. We'll probably release it on the app also this week, so you can see that for this coming weekend.
Yes, yeah.
Well, you know what? That was the first few items I had. Yeah. Do you have anything else right this second?
I don't think so. I really like our lists, and I think we covered it all. So.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back after this.
Hey, Argos, have a minute? Because we want to hear from you. The town of Argos is planning for the future, and your input is essential in helping us make the best decisions for our community. Whether you've lived here your whole life or just moved in, your voice matters, and now's the perfect time to share it. We've launched a quick and easy public input survey to get your thoughts on what's working, what needs improving, and what you'd love to see happen in Argos. It's available now on the Discover Argos app, on our website at townofargos.com, and on our Facebook and Instagram pages. Wherever you are, at home, at work, or on the go, you can help shape the future of our town in just a few minutes. So, don't miss your chance to be heard. Visit the website, download the app, or find the survey on social media and let us know what matters most to you.
And we're back. Thanks for staying tuned. So one of the biggest things I guess we wanted to talk about today. Over the last week and a half or 2 weeks, we've had some major storms, I'm going to call them, come through. We were very fortunate though. But we did have some larger storms.
Yep.
And during those storms, you're always going to get, I feel those complaints afterwards of flooding, events like that. We've got an astronomical amount of rain in a short period, so we're always going to have flooding at some point. The Wednesday storm that week, I came out, probably one of the first ones out. Obviously, I live here in town. And some of our streets had ponding already, and the one spot on Michigan it always floods was up probably halfway between my knee and my foot. So you're always going to have some type of flooding. What we look at, that water went away probably within the hour of it raining and stop raining. So our system did what it was supposed to. We're very pleased with it. But that's only one portion of storms. That Sunday storm of that week, we didn't fare as well. We had some trees down, which took down some power lines. Obviously, when the power lines go down, that outage becomes even longer.
Right.
But with that word outage, I know a lot of people expect power and like power, and I'm the same boat. But not always is it in our hands to control. So some of the questions that I've fielded over time, we're going to try to answer today, so most of you understand and what we go through to supply power to the town of Argos. Argos being an electric power supplier or provider, we do not produce our own power. So all of our power is purchased through a wholesale supplier, a nonprofit. You'll hear the phrase IMPA. It's Indiana Municipal Power Agency. They are our suppliers. So we purchase power from them. And in doing that, once we purchase the power, they obviously don't just bring it in a can and say, here's your power. Obviously, for that to get to us, it runs over electrical lines on what you a lot of times hear as the grid.
Maybe they should start.
We almost need a presentation where I can say, see, and then we didn't get there.
I'll make one.
But those are brought to us over what we call transmission lines. So a lot of times you'll hear us say when we're out of power that our transmission provider is down and something like that. In our area, most of the time, our transmission, the final phase, comes over a NIPSCO line. They provide the transmission service to us. That's how we get our power a lot of time, or how we get the power here. Now, obviously, then we provide it in our substation. We send it out from there, obviously, to each individual transformer, which then goes into your house. These last storms, just to go through them, so the Sunday night storm, the storm came through, and we lost power.
We did.
In that situation, they had some outages that were north of our service area. Besides, we did have some issues in town, but in working in those, we got our feed switched to a southern feed instead of our northern feed, and we were able to get power up pretty quick. I'm going to say it was about 5 hours for most people, which I know is 5 hours is a long time, but there were some people in that storm that were out almost 3 days in REMC's territory.
I didn't get to watch Netflix.
It did take some time to get it back on. We were very fortunate.
We were very fortunate.
So, and then Wednesday's storm came through, and that ended up being we were very fortunate. That ended up being the tornado.
Yes, it was.
So, you probably saw some of our posts that we tried to put out, just try to keep people informed. But on the north end of town, those same transmission lines I was talking about, we have power that what we call an underbuild. So there was about roughly 20 customers that are fed off of that underbuild, and it took us longer than we would have liked to get them power back. And like I said, that is not always in our control, and that does not make us. That makes some long days for us, but trying to get through these storms sometimes there's a lot of times we are blessed and nothing happens, and then I fret, and hopefully, as you saw in Bourbon, the amount of destruction and damage that can happen. We hope that does not happen here, but in worst case scenario, we will work just like we do in our normal storms.
And I guess the biggest question people probably have is, what should they do during a power outage?
That is, yes, as Leslie also knows, she gets a lot of the calls in the office, as so do the girls. So that is one question. So once the lights go out, just so everyone knows, calling in is fine. We have alarms on a ton of our equipment. All of our meters are alarmed. If you were to take your power meter off your house, we're going to get an alarm before you probably know that you've taken it all the way off.
Yes. Yep.
So we get alarms that tell us the power is out. It tells us the area and what it is. In these situations, it was obviously a whole town outage, but if your meter something would go wrong or your service line would come off of your house, we get a notice even that you're out of power. If in those situations, I'm not saying you can't call in, but a lot of times when you're calling in, if we're not here in the office, if it's after hours, you're actually calling the Marshall County Sheriff's Department, their dispatch center.
Yes.
And as it went through the last couple storms, they were busier than all get-outs.
Yes, they were. They were
So
very
sometimes
busy.
you're not going to get to call in and talk to Leslie because she's not up there.
Nope.
But we are understanding that there is an outage. We are working on it. We are trying to keep people informed with Facebook, the new Argus app. If you have not downloaded that, go to the App Store, go to the Google Play Store, and download Discover Argus app. We put just as much information there as we do on Facebook. We still at this time have the availability if you would like to get phone messages. You can get that through the app service. We can sign you up for that, or you can still sign up for Reach Alert to give you a call when we put those notifications out.
Yes. Yeah.
We just hope that people will use those services. I guess that's why we keep pushing those in each episode.
Yes, the Discover Argus app is very convenient, very easy to use, super helpful, especially with those notifications. Mark here does a great job at keeping everybody updated super well.
Sometimes when the power is out and we don't always have we have to come down here to use the internet.
Yeah, that's true too.
Anyway, so another question I had, and this was, I had a lady stop me out front the other day after these storms, and it's a valid question, and I'll explain why. Her question was, can I shower when the power is out? Well, I grew up in the country, and I would have looked at you and said no, because your well is not going to run without power.
Correct, I did too.
But that is not true in town.
Yes.
With the capacity of our tower and of our holding tanks at the water facility, you are able to shower in town. We do also have a generator if we would ever get that low on water, if it was out for that long, but our normal 5-10 hour outages are no big deal. You are still able to flush your toilets. You're able to shower. You still have the same clean water coming through. The storm has nothing to do with that.
Yes. Well, I think Mark here is very grateful for that. He's the one that has to work with me.
I agree. Well, now I can walk away and sit in my office.
That's true. You can walk away.
But that's pretty much Power 101, or we'll call it an Electric 101. That's kind of a quick run through of what the electric grid is in Argus. Obviously, you get into all sorts of different situations. We are very fortunate to have our own electric, because if not, we'd be relying on waiting on NIPSCO or waiting on somebody like that to come in who owned our system, but luckily we still have our own. So just like I said, storm reminder, when these things happen, just like now, we didn't get hit, thank goodness, but it was close enough that this is the time now we'll go through and work on our emergency response plans. If a tornado does come, because I had a question from one of our council members. We don't have a storm shelter. Well, do we look at what can we do? So we'll start working on those type of things, because we need to try to look out for everyone, because not everybody has a basement. Not everybody. I mean, there's certain situations. So we just try to plan, and you can never plan enough, because it's always going to throw you a curveball. But
Yes.
So that's pretty much everything with that. Do you have anything else you would like to? You have the floor now. If there's something else you would like to talk about.
Oh, well, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I do think we should recognize our linemen. Just being that we talked about storms.
We did.
I think the storms came a little bit earlier in the season than they typically do, so that may be part of the reason we were kind of unprepared.
And I did. In our workers, by all means, I'm going to say our linemen, they were here the longest, but all of our on Sunday and Wednesday night, all of our street department employees were here also. Because of trees down and stuff like that. But our linemen over this time frame, I can tell you the last outage did not get completed until Saturday morning at 3:40. I think it was 2:40 or 3:40 a.m. I had two linemen in here, one being our superintendent. I had Jamie Lindstrom, and I'll go through and name who our linemen are so you know here in a minute. Just all our employees that were here. But they were here in the pouring rain Friday into Saturday fixing that last line or outage stretch that we had. They were having to put transformers back up on new poles. So, I mean, it's just, that job is something. I mean, they work in all weather conditions, and that's. I mean, our police do the same thing. Our fire.
Absolutely.
I mean, all these guys, you got to thank them because they're not. I get to sit at home in the warmth and the dry, and they have to go out and work. But anyway,
complaining about Netflix, they're out here working.
Netflix not working, but hey. But for our linemen, just so everyone knows, the town of Argos has 4 linemen. Our utility superintendent, Jamie Lindstrom, and our assistant superintendent, Doug Middleton, are both linemen. From there, our lead lineman is Adam Brinkhoff, and our journeyman lineman is Tyler Betts.
Yeah.
So those 4 are the guys that are tasked with keeping you in power.
Yes.
And they're the ones that, when the power's out, they have to come in and figure out what the issue is.
Yes.
So give them all the credit.
Yes.
But from them, obviously, also our street department crew that night. I don't know if everybody came in, but I know Phil Dean's in the street department, Matt Zom, they both were in here, clearing debris in that.
Yep.
Joseph Ruffing, between the water department and working the street. So these guys, they have to leave home when these storms are going on. I mean, that's the bad thing. That tornado's coming through, you're in your basement trying to stay away. These guys are thinking, oh man, I'm going to have to go out here in a minute because I've got to get in there. And that's the type of work that they do. And they know that, and we're grateful for them.
Very grateful. So.
I mean, I don't have to come in, but...
I don't either.
But I do. I can't sit at home. You got to come out and see what's going on. But anyway, so if that's all you had for today...
I think that's all I have.
Okay.
My list is complete. Until next.
Well, I guess we'll see you next time. Yep, we'll have to start working on the next list. We'll see you then. I'm Mark Vanderwill.
I'm Leslie Williams.
There you go. And this was Inside Argos.